What's happening to the missing scientists? Is the Department of War going to respond to Congress's requests for more information and release of these videos showing UAPs to the public? Welcome, everybody, to Help from Heaven. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, you know that our spiritual medium is in-house. Her name is Miss Constance Fox. She channels higher consciousness. And today we're going to talk about disclosure. Let's get into it. Congress has issued a deadline for the Department of War, Pete Hegseth, to release 46 UFO-related videos, warning that they pose a threat to national security. It's April 14th. Today's the deadline. Let's see if the Department of War hands over to Congress the 46 videos containing alleged UAP material. If you're interested in learning to expand your consciousness and evolve, hi, Susan. Come join our community. They're live on the chat with us here at Help from Heaven. They get exclusive access. It's one of our benefits of being a member.
Divine Mother, Jesus, and the Galactic Federation of Lights here today. Would you all like to say anything before Stacy begins? Or, no. The floor is open, Stacy.
I have a lot of questions about UFOs. There's been a lot of conspiracies. There's a lot of Congress people actually talking now about the UFO topic. I would love to get into it. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, yes. Now, what's a U? It's UAE. What's it stand for?
UAP is unidentified anomalous phenomenon or
Okay.
aerial. So they've just changed UFO to UAP.
Okay. So it's basically a machine or
It's a craft.
craft
There's
or
various
something.
types of crafts. There's also a lot of
Excuse me.
conspiracy that some of these are our own. They're man-made, and that they're being involved in some black operations that are beyond Congress, maybe deep state or shadow government type stuff. And they're trafficking children. So
What, these crafts?
a lot of there was episode 66 of the Sean Ryan show was a Marine. His name's Michael Herrera. He encountered a UFO black op, like a UFO loading humans into it. And those guys turned the Marines basically around and were like, you're lucky we don't kill you. But you didn't see anything. And we've also had about 10 top secret between space, NASA space, and nuclear scientists and engineers either go dead or missing in the last few years. So I want to see what's going on.
Wow.
Who's doing this? Why are they doing this? Why are people being killed over UFO secrecy stuff?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's such a taboo topic that the government and worlds wanted to just keep away from the public.
But why?
I guess they
Doesn't
think the
make sense.
public would freak out and religions would freak out, especially because then that would have them think differently than what their religion has taught. And then just everyone would freak out, basically.
First of all, let's talk about the scientists. I want to know what is happening to these scientists. There's about 10 engineers. They vary from they're working on jet propulsion systems and labs in New Mexico, to deflecting asteroids and comets, to particle beams, and also nuclear studies. So can they tell us what is going on with these scientists?
You know your stuff,
Who's taking
Stacy, I'll
them?
tell you.
I know. I like this type of stuff. Sorry.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but you've already been interrupted like 4 times here, because they're already saying, and this is like Divine Mother and Jesus speaking as one, as they often do, but actually all of them together, I guess, are just all. They just say all, so just all. But all, and they say all. The scientists all have been forced into silence, submission, silence, and oftentimes that is removing them from the planet in one way or another, where they die, basically. Somehow there's more coming out to the world very soon. The official announcement, so to speak, that there is extraterrestrial beings, other beings out there other than human. So that quote announcement or official, however that's going to be given, is going to be revealed, like officially. And what they are concerned about is people not being able to like handle the truth, which I guess is maybe another way of wording what I just worded, for example, where people would just go into fear, panic, freak out, confusion. Maybe some might go insane. It would just it would be very disillusioning for a lot of people. So, how would people handle that? I guess also, they do not want people's consciousness to expand beyond like a caveman mentality where it's just extremely small into this tiny segment of our earth. And that's all that we can see. That's all that we know. That's all we're aware of. They don't want people to wake up, simply put.
True. But they're also reverse engineering a lot of this technology in the private sector to keep it away and outside of the government. So I don't know who I trust more, politicians or businesses, to have this information and this technology. But I think it's also for nefarious reasons, like they're developing weapon systems and, um, I mean, of course, take it to us to have enlightened beings come down and we steal their technology and try to make war. But any
Right. Leave
comment
it to
on
us
like
is
some of,
right.
yeah, some of the more nefarious uses that, like, for example, is it accurate that this Marine who witnessed a possibly man-made UFO, it could have been, foreign as well, or alien, loading children and humans into it as cargo? Is that an accurate statement?
Boy, that's
An
creepy to
eyewitness
think about.
account?
Yeah, really creepy. Did that
Yeah.
happen? Jesus, and did that happen? Yes, it has been happening a long time already. Yes. They take people for, I don't know, manipulating, their DNA to create like superhumans or other types of beings that have the best qualities out of the best options available or highest options available or something, and putting that together and creating a, a f- a flesh and bones being, a being made out of, quote, flesh and bones, but is like a supercomputer. Everything's super. Everything's, beyond like what we consider normal human abilities. Now, also, there's always the desire for slaves in every civilization or every culture. They want to have workers for dull things, dull activities, or what we might consider lower activities or something. Also, breeding. Oh, that sounds really, really
That
major
goes
creepy.
right into my next question, which is former Congressman Matt Getz was briefed by a uniformed Army officer about a secret government program involving alien human hybrid breeding. They take them from war zones and migrant caravans. And this whistleblower said there was 6 to 12 breeding locations. So that exactly confirms what you just said. So is that accurate?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. They're making like other civilizations, like different types of beings by mixing DNA. I guess, we do that now with vegetables and animals and certain things, right? Which that alone even sounds icky enough. But it's always about glorifying the ego of like who's involved is like the leader or leaders or the people in power. They want to be God, be bigger than God, do more and bigger and better than God did. And it's just for more. power. It's for more glorification. It's for having power over the world, over people.
World.
Oh, God. Sounds
When
terrible.
you say they, who is the they?
Good question. Who is the they? They are a lot. Okay, so they are a lot um from the cabal, or part of the cabal, or working under the cabal, but quote, as the cabal. There are also many other beings that want to do the same, because they are not caring. So I guess there's some beings that, of course, are loving and good and divine, just like humans, and there's some beings that are bad, evil, uncaring. Yes, and they want to have slaves. Like most of those beings that are other beings. Does that mean from other galaxies or star systems or planets? Or yes, yes. They want workers, slaves for anything and everything. Um, and the cabal wants power, glorification of the ego. It's never enough. Always want more, to like satiate that unsatiable ego. Um, hmm.
So back to the scientists that are being disappeared. Are they being pulled into these black sites to help with this? Are these black operations, or are they just being terminated and assassinated, or are they just not cooperating? How do they tie into this?
Yes,
Or is that
some
like a
some are
different
taken, some are um stolen and taken
taken where?
to a laboratory, to do their work, do work that they know how to do by force, basically. Some that are not able to be controllable more easily or something. They're just, murdered. It depends. There have been some who are taken by other beings and used for their purposes. Oh gosh, that is such a
Wow, sorry. I didn't know this
horrible
was gonna go
thought.
so heavy. Jeez. I mean, I guess that explains why there's so much secrecy around this topic. Are we ever gonna see full disclosure from, let's say, the American government?
Mm, no, never. No. But more selectively, more. But there's always taboo happenings, things that are being done that's considered taboo, that they're keeping hidden, that they're hiding, that they are not wanting to let people know about, because it's harmful for people. It's not good for people. It's not freeing for humanity.
So say you've been abducted by the the cabal and you're taken to be kind of a lab rat. Do they end up dying? Do they let them go? What happens if you've been like some of the people quote trafficked in a UFO?
What happens to them?
Yeah, like after they've been experimented or say they get DNA samples, are they exterminated
Yeah,
after that? Are
yeah.
they
Um, some are kept as prisoners for future use or reference, and some are killed after not being available anymore, maybe alive anymore, or in one whole piece anymore, so to speak, or functional. Um, yeah, it really varies. God, that sounds so disgusting. Ugh. Wow, that's so creepy. Oh, it's just terrible to think, how, just
how dark this world
evolved.
is?
Yeah, that
Whew.
a lot are still.
Let's talk, since we're on a dark subject, let's talk about abductions. There have been thousands and hundreds of thousands of abduction stories of people that say they have been taken aboard a craft, experimented on, either given some sort of implant, biological implant, and then sent back. Are those actual extraterrestrial abductions?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It is similar to how humans treat animals. You steal them, take them by force, harm them, puncture them with, or tattoo them, or mark them. Sometimes you don't send them back, sometimes you do, to have them available for future use, locatable, or to test for other things that they have, or other beings that they have. And so some they might just want to study or test, to learn. Some are literally for gathering in herds and collecting their energy of fear and saving that energy, having that energy for basically an energetic food source energy. There are many, many other beings and many, many other universes, and some are, quote, good and want good things for us, like the Galactic Federation of Light, for example, or the star beings. And then there are some that are of a human consciousness, meaning like quite devolved, that are just in for what can we get out of these beings for ourselves, and not caring about being kind, harming them, hurting them, enslaving them, taking away their freedom, not caring. So, yeah, for different purposes.
Wow, that is sad. So what are they exactly studying? Like, why do they want us?
Most of them want you to wake up. Most of them want you to realize you are in a universe of universes, and that there are many more beings other than just human beings on Earth, and that there is so much more to life than what you know, than what you presently experience and know. That you can experience your God given divine nature, but do not know what that is. So you continue to recycle or reincarnate in ignorance again and again, and you're actually going downhill, like devolving, like literally, instead of evolving, in many ways. Like the consciousness, maybe technology is evolving without a doubt, but consciousness has been devolving, and you're affecting other universes, other beings of other universes adversely. You're harming human beings and animal life and sea life and even Mother Earth. Um, they want to good for you and all. So they want to help you realize your divine nature, but they know that you've been instilled with fear-based thinking about other beings and other universes or galaxies or planets or stars, whatever. And so they, are aware of the fear factor involved. Um, so they have been trying for many years to come close enough to be seen without being too alarming, without being able to be like bombed, basically, or harmed, but wanting you all to know there's more. But you cannot communicate intelligently. Is that the word? Like intelligently? Is that the word, intelligently? Or is it like telepathically? Or is it like, yeah, no, like, kind of more intelligently? That's just the word they're using. A more intelligent way of communication other than verbal English, Spanish, French. I mean, the way we communicate with our vocal cords, a certain language. They are coming, though, like it or not, and the world is ready. Like it or not, the world really is ready. And they are going to be told. No, they are going to be, get this word. Oh, supportive. They are going to be supportive as supportive as they can be. They want those who are ready to wake up to have that opportunity, because it is getting to a breaking point on Earth where you're either leaving the planet because you can't evolve, you're not able or willing, or you're going to evolve extremely rapidly. This is the phase that God created on Earth at this time. This is what you call it, Mother Nature, or the rhythm of, Mother Nature or God. This is the cycle that we're in, God-given created cycle. And so higher energy has been being brought to Earth. And that's why there's people angry, fearful, confused, dull-minded, very dull-minded, crazy, illogical, not thinking normally, rationally. This increased energy coming from the cosmos, you could say it is coming from the source of all. And people either go kind of downhill because they can't absorb all that higher, more refined, higher energy vibration, and express that, which is loving, which is more love or love-based kindness, caring, compassion, forgiveness. So then they go the opposite, that's more toward fear, hate, anger, division, and they know what is near. So they are coming closer, and like it or not, for the Cabal, they will come to help.
Oh,
I guess that's a message for the Cabal.
okay. The off-world beings are gonna come help. Okay. But I mean, that doesn't seem very helpful to like abduct us and stick needles in our eyes and do experiments on us and then send us back
I don't think
just
those
to
are
be
the
like,
good
hey,
ones that want good things for us. Yeah.
right? Well, that's what most abduction stories are kind of like being experimented on, but then they're sent back. So, can they clarify like that's not who we're not referring to them when we're talking about being
Yeah, no, they
experimented
go,
on.
no, no. We are of the light, um, beings of the light that would never harm a hair on your head. That is not in our nature. It is not in our makeup. We could not conceive of that. We would give you our life before we would take yours. We are here to help, and we will be coming to support you. And there are dark forces taking over humanity, taking over the earth. And that's why we're here, to help support you. And we will um, enable you to fight this battle that, like, you really have no idea is even going on, almost, because it's in the background. It's not on earth in front of our faces, for just our physical eyes to see. It's in the background. But that's why we are here, because we can help. We have been told to help. We're here. We're here for God. We're here for Jesus. We're here for our brothers and sisters that might not be the same race that they are, but that's how they see us.
That's beautiful, but also wild. Like if there's these so many of these evil things going on with some aliens, like it seems natural that we should have a distrust in any of them,
Yeah,
right?
I guess
How are we supposed to
good
know?
point. I guess we just have to, look at it as humans. It's just like humans, because for, any
Yeah,
human can be a wonderful, good
good or
person,
bad.
or the opposite. So I guess it's just like that. But how can we distinguish that? How would
Yeah,
we
how are we
know?
exactly?
Like, how would we know?
Any comment?
Um, so I don't even know who's answering this, but who is answering this? Because I thought it was maybe, okay, so this is Jesus. He says, you'll know, because I will, what, have? because I will have your heart enough that you will be able to hear me. Like, if you love God, this is Jesus speaking, if you love God enough, and it does not mean like, oh, it has to be even a whole lot or a certain, amount that's insurmountable, you know, just to have love in your heart for God, period. That's it. It's simple. Then you will hear my call. You will hear my warning. You will hear my anything that we need to know, we will hear from the voice of God and or Jesus. It's when you are divided from me. There's no intuition, there's no heart connection, there's no ability to hear my voice. He's saying, Jesus, my inner voice, because you do not want that connection, so you will not have it. So, like, if you just have some level of love for God, you will know, you will hear me. And those that do not will be kind of like lost on their own because they want to be on their own. They are not forgotten. They are not lost forever, but they will be moving forward into another life off of the planet Earth and given experiences that they need to continue the evolutionary experience that we're all on. Yes. So there is nothing to fear. You'll know also because there are many people like this group, us, sharing your communication ability with spirit and others that are coming out, sharing your gifts with the world to help them during this time coming up. So you are informed well, informed rightly, and given the resources, the connections, the support, the friends, the help that you need. Um, this is all a rather new thing as of late. From what this is Jesus saying this. That's kind of true, isn't it? Actually, there are a lot more. There's a lot of people that either already have, or in the process of creating like small communities throughout the world. That might be a whole other subject. That's a physical community to, have a supportive, interdependent, off-grid community if ever needed in the future, where everyone's taken care of and has what they need and not dependent on the government or whatever, the system. But also, I guess that's a separate thing. But then communities like this, like an online community, a YouTube podcast, or others, where there's, like you mentioned, that one remote viewer, or me, because I can communicate to consciousness, the spirit of almost anyone, and then sharing this information that Jesus has asked us to share to help people with these times coming up and inform them. And so, but there are a lot of others, aren't there? I mean, in these
Yeah,
recent
more and more.
years, very
Yeah,
recent.
more and more are coming forward. Yeah, absolutely. I think, and if people that have any sense of the writing on the wall or can kind of feel what's just around the corner, have that urgency or having a natural, inner calling or intuition to want to do things differently because they know we're going to need each other. We're going to not need systems. We're going to need our own food, not grocery stores. Yeah, I think that call's been sent out and people are picking up on it a lot more
And yeah,
than
especially these
even just
last,
10 years ago.
the last 5 year episode that's taken
Mhm,
place globally. People are
mhm.
realizing we don't want the government telling us what can go in our bodies or what lots of other things like that, because that's not a trustworthy source.
No, I
Perhaps.
think we've all learned whatever the government says, do the opposite. Okay, wild. Let's go back to disclosure topic here. There's a gentleman, Dr. Stephen Greer. He has a protocol to contact ETs. He calls it CE5. But he was talking about the CIA has illegally used man made UAPs to fake alien abductions and take hostages and mutilations. Is that true?
Jesus, is that true? Or like have they pretended to be, yeah, like UFOs and abducting people, pretending that? Ugh, yes. Why would that be?
Why?
To see what they would do, to see how they would respond, to see how, like the nature of the beast operates, just like you do with animals now. You put them through torture just to see how they live, how they think, how they feel, how they move in the ocean or in the wild. What is their nature? What do they do? Just intrigued, just want to know. Um, it's just an experiment. It's just an experiment.
Great. So we're being experimented on by actual aliens, and then we're being fake experimented on by like fake aliens, which are just humans
Good would
doing this
that
to us.
do them though to even, I mean, like, why would they want to even know something like that? I mean, I'm
Well,
sure
they've
they
been
would
doing
know.
mind
Okay, they'll be
control
fearful,
and
they'll freak out, they'll probably go crazy. Like, what else is there to know? I mean,
yeah.
they'd be horrified. I mean, that's enough reason for some or for many to collect your fear one way or another. Fear is energy and it fuels certain beings, it fuels beings, and it's also able to be collected just like battery banks. Um, wow, that's creepy. Ugh,
I had no idea that this was all going to be true. Yes,
I never even heard of that until now, but wow.
oh my gosh. So it just seems so obvious that the powers that be that are running world governments, they all know that the alien story is a huge part of our evolution. And that's why they don't basically want any of this knowledge coming out because it's going to possibly expand our awareness beyond that our limited tiny human mindset of oh I got to go to work, oh I got to pay the mortgage,
Yeah.
I got to pay the bills,
Yes, yes.
live another day.
If you start learning what's available to you and how unlimited, one, your body is, but your intelligence is, and that your consciousness is, you would not continue living a very reduced, conformed lifestyle, quality of life that they can keep controlled under their hands, under their thumb, under their observation. They can't handle not being in power.
I mean, I'm not shocked, but that's crazy to hear.
It is, isn't it? Gee. Oh, yeah.
Whew.
God.
That was wild. Oh, anybody have any questions on that? Like that was crazy. So will they acknowledge or release these videos, Pete Hegseth and the Department of War that Congress is asking them for, demanding them for?
Wow. Goes yes, yes, and yes. They are going to reveal this. The fact that there are like extraterrestrial beings, there are these, what you call them, these crafts that are not human made. They're going to keep a tight lid on it, um, but reveal there is other life than just humans.
How's the world going to react?
That's a great question. How is the world going to react? I mean, if they hear that, some will be able to think beyond a decimal. Something with we'll be able to think beyond like a decimal. I'm not sure I'm getting that word right, but I think, yeah, it's like a decimal, like meaning a small smidgen, this tiny little bit. And see how that reveals actually even so much more. Thinking like, okay, if there's other beings, There's other universes, there's other galaxies, there's other planets, there's other, um, and beyond that, I don't get that very limited. And most now, the most people will not really absorb it, really acknowledge it fully. Um, and as you just said, Stacy, need to get up in the morning to go to work and rush all day at work, then rush from work to home to get the kids or put food on the table or to get ready for another day. And like they're too busy, they're too stressed, they're too rushed, they're too dull-minded, they're too sick, not feeling well, coping with symptoms. I mean, they're so heavily distracted like robots that they don't have time to like really sit there and think, you know? So it's a good point.
I agree. That's where my answer to this question went. Most people will be like, don't care.
Yeah, oh, that's crazy. Okay, well, gotta go to work. Bye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, are you serious? Oh my gosh, it's such a limited perspective on just life and the reason we're here. Do you not people ever question like why am I here? Who am I? What is the meaning of all this?
Question. I think most people don't.
I did at like 10.
Yeah, I don't think that's
But
typical. I think most
really?
people, they're just what happiness is to most people is just having a nice house that they like, two nice cars in the driveway, being able to go on a vacation for a week, twice a year, maybe, having their kids go to a good school, um, looking reputable in community and society, having nice friends or whatever. But when it comes to like spirituality or spiritual connection or consciousness, that's not, doesn't have anything to do with the external, anything you can see externally, or materially, or status wise, anything like that. Most people really don't, I don't think have, I don't know. Do you think so? I think most people don't. I know people watching
We
this
would get
probably do because that's what we're all about is spiritual growth and
yeah.
expanding
And
consciousness. That's our main theme anyway. But I think in
I would
general,
say it's a very small portion
yeah,
of
they're just,
people.
they don't really think about it so much.
It's
Which I guess is
shocking.
fine. Every one of us is at a different level in our evolution. So we're, you know, I'm not being judgmental, but I think most people don't. In fact, I actually envy those people sometimes. You know that saying, how they say ignorance is bliss. I mean, like when you
Well,
know
it's
there's
not.
something, or you've even had the direct experience
Yeah.
of the presence of God, of a much higher state of consciousness than what is quote normal, or I'll say what is normal for me. Um, and then knowing that there's something so much more than just this human shell that we're inhabiting, and of the creator. And then being on a spiritual path can be a tough, long journey.
Agreed.
Sometimes I think it's, easier to be in that, ignorance is bliss kind of statement.
Yeah. It's easier, but is it evolving? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we,
And I want off this ride.
yeah. Yeah. Me too, Stacy. I'm ready. I don't
I
ever want
want
to be
off.
reborn in ignorance again.
Mm-mm.
I want enlightenment.
It's a question coming in, and what could these beings what do they want us to do now? And to help who?
Question. So Galactic Federation, do you want to answer that or the star beings? No and no. So Jesus, I guess, is going to answer this for some reason. Okay, even though they said that they were here earlier, but Jesus wants to answer this. They want you to survive physically. That's just one. They want you to help other people survive physically, and they want to help you like heal and grow. Heal physically, of course, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So you are like literally enlightened. have the full awareness of God awareness. They want you to be free. They want you to be filled with love and light and joy and a fullness of life and joy and just God awareness. They want you to be in fullness of life, experiencing all that you are, all that we can be, all that we are. So God gets to experience that through you. Remember that. God experiences that love and joy through us. So God gets to experience that through us. So it's for us, it's for God, it's for all. Oh, oh, it's very beautiful when you think of it that way.
Yeah, I can only imagine his disappointment in what he's experiencing through most of us now.
Gosh, I know. Well, I hope over these next years ahead, we're going to be able to make a massive shift, have a massive shift for the better for humanity and animals in our sea life and Mother Nature, and really make some huge headway toward that, a much more divine
Sounds like
life.
it's gonna get worse before it gets better, and that
Yeah. I
we're
mean,
on
that's still a several
cleanup
year period of
duty.
time, Jay. I mean, I know sometimes things change and like it's still as kind of what you've said before, like a several year period of time ahead. I mean, it's 2026 now. So it's still like a several year period ahead where just the world's just going to be in kind of more calamity and chaos and challenges. And then, yes, 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 yes. And then much less population on the world, and the healers and the rebuilders will remain. People that want to help heal and rebuild, heal each other and help each other and rebuild the world and Mother Earth and create exactly that life on Earth as it's meant to be experienced, filled in fullness of life, with joy, with love, with happiness, with health. Uh,
Can I ask another question about, Contact? I just rented have you heard of Bob Lazar? Bob Lazar came out in the late '80s, I think, and he worked at, some of these same places where these scientists are disappearing. But then he got recruited and he worked at Area 51, but there's different parts of the Nevada test sites, and he worked at this place called S4. So his new documentary just dropped like last week.
oh
I rented it.
no!
He was he was into jet propulsions. He was an engineer and he got recruited to come and try to reverse engineer alien craft that the United States government holds at Area 51 in Nevada.
Wow,
And he was in the craft. He talks about his story of working there. It was only a couple months, but eventually he brought some friends out because he saw the schedule for the test flights of these objects that we had and got to fly again. And eventually he got caught. He had people trying to kill him, and he went public before they could kill him. So that kind of gave him a little bit of protection.
but he's not alive
But he has a
anymore, or he is?
no, he still is. He just filmed a documentary again about his story. Like he came out 30 some years ago with it, and people ridiculed him and like, yeah, right, he's lying.
Wow.
This isn't happening. So he went through a rough period of being basically ridiculed for about 30 years. But he came back out. Now that this is a hot topic again, and people are talking about it. So he redid another documentary, and they did like 3D type AI imaging to kind of show exactly what everything looked like based on his description. But he saw part of that is documents. Part of their access and clearance at S4 was piles and piles of documents. And he said that in one of them, that the United States government knows that humans have been genetically modified 65 times, and that it was from off world. So meaning we didn't do it, God didn't do it. We were genetically modified from an external force, meaning off planet. So they know this. Uh, so, my question, yeah,
65
about
times?
Yeah, our DNA has been manipulated 65 times. Is that correct?
Wow, I'm afraid to ask on that one. Gee,
Well, they've told us we've been multiple times, but
says
just
more.
more.
Yeah, some are not revealed or known, or they're not aware of. More than that, actually. Yes, it's absolutely true, and more. Woo. So, what does
That's
that
so
mean?
wild.
Genetically modified?
So, these A, the Anunnaki, and B, you've told us that they combined this. I know you forget
Yeah,
what you channel, but they basically took, they said it was Bigfoot. They combined Anunnaki, Bigfoot, and made humans. I'm imagining this.
I
This is a
remember that
span of
now.
several hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
Um, but could they confirm the time span of this experiment? Like the first humans, we were evolved, but then they learned how to cut out that part that connected us to God because they wanted us to quote mine the field is exactly your wording from a couple episodes ago.
Uh,
Um, yeah, is that all still correct? And can
yes,
they give us a
yes,
time
yes, and
frame?
yes. And they have given up. I remember those Jay saying that before a couple times. Like the Anunnaki, they've given up. It's like it just so sounds like they're at their wits' end with us. They've just given up hope for us. I mean, it's not even funny. It sounds terrible, especially since they're the ones that put us here. Uh,
Well, yeah, it's their fault.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but like it's just the way you say that, Jesus, is just kind of funny. It's like they've given up on us. We're a hopeless case. I mean, um,
I don't disagree.
um, they are passing you to God. Letting you go to God's will, let God, like, however we manage to everything evolves, mother nature, humans, all beings, that's just the nature of God, how the creator created us is always evolving. So, like, is that what you mean? Like, just as leaving us on our own, so to speak, for God to just figure out how to fix us? I mean, it sounds terrible, but, yes, yes, they have given up thinking they can have you be the way they want or wanted you to be, and so they have basically accepted a failed mission. I guess they feel they failed by creating the human being race. They didn't do it right. They made us something messed up in our brain where we're not able to evolve or be or feel or experience a direct connection to God or our soul, have awareness of our soul. And so they've tried to fix that or correct that or improve that. And that hasn't worked out successfully. So they've basically given up on us. Yes. Yes. Like, yeah, in a nutshell. Yeah, exactly. Cannot do anything. There's nothing that they feel they can do that would work.
But we can, through our own conscious expansion, reconnect with source. So we're not fully flawed,
Perfectly worded,
correct?
Stacy, perfectly worded. Yes, 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 and of course, that's everything that Jesus is all about and talks all about through us and the Galactic Federation and star beings even, but also the archangels we communicate to, some of the other spiritual masters like Mahavatar Babaji and Buddha and Mahatma Gandhi and Divine Mother, of course. So yes, 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 and um, um, it will grow and become predominating. It will predominate, and when it gets to a point where like the majority of the people on Earth are in a state of harmony or neutrality or peacefulness or even lovingness, um, that will enable the rest of the world to really evolve extremely quickly. Um, and without the negative influence of many, many people that are in a very negative state. the fear, anger, hatred, divisions, just stress, severe stress. You are being brought more help in more ways and from more people and more beings and in many different ways than you know. God is bringing you all the help you need. If you have that desire, you will be given what you need. Um, and we, meaning us here in the group, is that what you mean, Jesus? Yeah, it says, and we are here to help open the light in somebody's heart for God. Just that little speck, a little tiny opening to open the heart. That little initial opening where you have that where you're seeking something that's not from the external or physical world. You're seeking something that's from within, whether we know what it is or not yet. And it's God. It's our creator. It's the soul that wants to wake up within you and be experienced through you and not be suppressed or restricted. So, and the tools, the teachings are very simple in nature. And this is what we share. The teachings, the techniques, the exercises, the simple little little things to do to directly and consciously, intentionally awaken the consciousness, awaken your awareness more. And it's not what you believe about God, it's what you directly experience as God. With the minds in it, it's limited. It's through direct experience, can be unlimited. So experiencing God's love and light is the goal, and what you're all wanting, and really yearning for and missing. Yes, yes, yes.
We have a comment like, why don't you just give it to us? I'm
Yeah,
sure God has the power.
I like that
We're
question. And
asking.
that's a really good question. Like, why, Jesus, can't you just expand our consciousness? If we have that desire, that true, deep, genuine desire to know God, to feel and experience God in fullness, and you, Jesus, our soul, why can't we just be given that? It should be our divine birthright, shouldn't it? So why can't we just experience it if we have that desire? Um, and this is Jesus. So he says, make God awareness first priority, and it will come. I would like to talk about this again to help all of you who feel this way or similarly. What does it mean to have God be, or God awareness be, your top priority? What does that exactly mean? And how do you fit that into your life and world in a practical way? Um, it is not easy now, I know, because the majority of the people are straying you away from the peace and fullness of God and God consciousness. You're constantly being pulled away from that, strayed away from that. So it is extraordinarily challenging, and that is about to turn. That table is about to turn, or the scale is about to be tipped in the other direction over these next several year period of time. I mean, I think that's what God's creating for humanity on Earth, as He's talked about before many times and just earlier. But He says, let's create. Um, a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly schedule for you, for what works for you, what fits for you, what is desirous for you, what do you need to wake up more quickly.
When the light wins on Earth, are all these entities and dimensional creatures and stuff that are feeding off fear, are they going to leave the planet for good?
What a spectacular question. It will always be available, but not in your consciousness when you get to a certain point in your evolution, you're not aware of those things that are not from love, wholeness, perfection. They exist out there, maybe in the perimeter out there, but it's not in your direct experience. It's not in your awareness because your awareness is not there anymore. It's all about increasing your awareness, not to going to a different physical location. Hmm, that's a good thing to think of. Here I am
Mm.
thinking about, okay, this place on earth is a physical existence and it's like this, but it's all based on one's state of consciousness, one's state of awareness. And if one has a completely different state of awareness, they experience something completely differently, even in the same state or same country on the same planet. Is
Yeah.
that true? Is that what you're saying, Jesus? Yes. There are others not there at that level of consciousness, but you see what God sees. You see how I see. You see only love, wholeness, God, perfection, beauty. You do not see what's considered bad or wrong or evil or sick. And you grow out of that. That's what evolving is. You grow out of that. So, boy, that could lead to some more questions of mine when I absorb that a little more.
Thank you, everybody, for your questions, your comments.
You.
We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining
Bye.
us.